Hey Facebook universe, I am here with apparently an Instagram star. This is Daisy Gordita. So if you want to check her out, I was just told that she has her own Instagram page, which is @Daisy Gordita. So I'm gonna check it out after this video. But this dog may have stolen the show, but I'm here with Lynn. And Lynn works for the Pioneer Air Museum, which is this big gold dome, if you want to pan up, this big gold dome that we are standing right in front of in Pioneer Park. And Erin, if you can kind of like spin around and show all the cool things that are going on in the park. I'm gonna play with the dog for a second and not do my job. All right, I'm gonna hand Miss Daisy Gordita off to her owner. We stole her. All right, now we'll get serious. So I am here in Fairbanks, Alaska, and if you were watching yesterday, then you know that I did a Facebook Live from Cody, Wyoming, yesterday afternoon. So you never know where I'll show up. But Erin works for the Pioneer Air Museum, and she's gonna show us around. So do we want to sneak on in first? And I think there's a pretty cool person that we want to meet when we walk in. How's the lighting as we come in?
It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure we weren't like dark shadows walking
You're all good.
This museum is so amazing. It's a literal man cave. If you want to pan up, you can kind of see the cave-like structure that's on the inside of it. But I wanted to first stop and interrupt this gentleman here because Pete knows all the stories. So we're going to come around here. He's ignoring me, but we're just going to keep coming up to him.
And even the individual cabinets, and sometimes the old timers would just,
Hey,
how you doing?
it's your moment.
Yeah.
It's your time.
Some of the old timers would put a flag up for the airplane to stop. And if they
So Pete
just
runs the
want to
museum,
communicate,
and he's going to tell us
just
a
want to
couple of
talk
things
to
about why
somebody.
he's here and some of the neat artifacts that we have.
That-
I've known
that's
Pete now for
the-
3
you
years,
know,
but we only
that's
met
what a
once.
lot
And
of the evolution
it's
was
been a while.
when,
So,
so,
all right, Pete, can I snag ya?
yeah, I guess I'm on TV or something.
You're famous now. You are an internet sensation. This is Pete, and Pete, what is your role here at the Pioneer Air Museum?
Well, I'm the curator, probably by default. You know, back when when the last one of the last founders passed away in 2009, no one wanted to step forward, you know, to run the place, and I didn't want to see it go away. So I kind of, I either raised my hand or opened my mouth. I'm not sure which it was.
They didn't just push you
Yeah, but
in front of the
here I
crowd.
am. And
Yeah.
I've been here ever since 2009, and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know.
How long have you been here in Alaska?
Well, I was born and raised here,
Okay.
so that's 75 years.
You didn't have to
Yeah.
tell people.
Yeah. Then I've been flying up here. Started flying in 1957.
Were you a commercial pilot or a...
Well, I just working on my license and everything, and got the license in 1957. You know, and then
years.
then went into the commercial business and been here ever since. All the time, all the years I flew here, all my time is acquired here in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I flew commercially for 51 years. So
Oh, wow. So you said you took over in 2009.
yeah.
But when was the first time you actually came to the Pioneer Air Museum?
Oh, gee whiz, that had to have been back in probably in the 1980s sometime when they were first getting ready to open. They opened officially in 1992,
Okay.
and they acquired the facility in 1982, the use of it, and so I was involved a little bit up to, you know, until, not too much until I got involved in the, quote, being curator.
Quote. It's the scare quotes of being curator. Now,
Yeah.
this is kind of an interesting building. What was this building originally used for?
Well, the building was initially built in about 1966, 1967 as part of the Alaska Centennial Celebration site here, which occurred in 1967. That was the 100-year anniversary of the purchase of Alaska from Russia in 1867. This place was originally called Seward's Hall. Seward was the Secretary of State, I believe it was, at in 1867 when they purchased Alaska, and then oh God, let's see, it was called Seward's Hall, and they used to have meetings in here and stuff, and it progressed after the flood, of course, kind of slowed things up pretty good. That was in 1967 too. Their Oktoberfest celebrations were here. I mean, there was a whole series of things. That the place was a petting barn for a while, you know, for the animals and stuff, and storage for quite some time, and then it was a skating rink initially after the initial celebration. Used to be a fireplace out in the center of it here, and smoke went up around where the pole is now, and
Do you want to pan that
you could
out?
open the peak of the roof.
Yeah.
And
Probably not very good for a museum, though.
no, I wasn't in the museum at all in those days, and but it's been through a lot of things, but it's been involved in the museum process since about 1982 is when they got hold of the building and started doing things
Yeah.
here for aviation. So
Well, we're going to look around, but I want to make sure that I see your favorite object. So what's your favorite object in this whole place? That's always a terrible question to ask curators.
well, actually, you know, most of the objects in here are kind of my favorites.
Yeah, the
You know.
museum as a whole.
The museum as a whole.
Perfect.
It's been a tremendous privilege to be here, to research a lot of the history that's here in the museum. I was fortunate growing up here. My dad was a doctor, issued medical certificates for some of the early pilots. And although I was just a little shaver at the time, I actually remember and met a lot of the old-time pilots during that early period. So there's a little bit of history and connection here to a lot of this stuff. And I enjoy that immensely.
That's so cool.
So,
Well, thank you so much, and we're gonna go run around with Lynn here for a little bit and see the museum. But in case I don't see you, I will see you at the Dog Mushers Hall tomorrow for Della's wedding.
all right, that sounds good.
All right,
And,
perfect.
look
Thank you
forward
so
to it.
much, Meek.
You bet. Thank you
All
for
right.
coming in. And
We're gonna have some fun running around. I was told I could climb inside a helicopter, so I'm
yeah,
pretty stoked about
yeah.
that.
We can send Peggy over, and she'll help you get into the little helicopter over here. And
Okay,
everything.
perfect. I think we're gonna go do that now. I can go crawl into the little helicopter that'll probably fit me much better.
Thank you.
So Lynn, how long have you been here?
I have been here for a little over a month.
A month.
Started at the
So
end
you
of
know
May.
everything there is to know.
No.
What's your favorite part of the museum?
I don't know. It's just kind of an adventure working here.
Yeah.
You always find things that you don't expect to find. It's nice to be back, and I used to work at a naval museum, so it's kind of nice to
cool.
be back into like the history side of things.
Now, was the Naval Museum in Alaska, or you?
Chicago.
Oh,
North
wow.
Chicago, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm originally from Michigan. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk more about that, but I feel like I need to climb into a helicopter. Okay, so I just get in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a little tippy, so we'd like to hold it for you.
She's holding it down. You make sure to get that before I destroy it. Okay, I'm going in. You want to come in with me?
I'm good. I probably won't fit.
Oh, my pants. They're too tight. All right. So what's the story on this helicopter, do you know?
It was a kit that they put together back in the 60s, 70s out of Popular Mechanics.
Oh, out of Popular Mechanics. That's awesome.
It was an experimental kit.
Do you know how it ended up here at the museum?
Yeah, they built it in Arizona, and then the guy moved up to Anchorage and ended up donating it to the museum.
Okay, did he fly it up here?
I don't know if he flew it up here, but the top speeds went 100 miles an hour. Cruising speeds was 80 to 90 miles an hour. The rate of climb is 100 feet per minute, ranging to 120 miles, and the ceiling 10,000 feet.
Oh my gosh. That's
Somebody
pretty
was
cool.
brave.
Yeah, it's not me. Well, I have to say, this is really cool because, you know, I love my museum and all, but, you know, we don't really get to climb inside things. Can't really climb inside anything in the Firearms Museum. But at the Buffalo Bill Cerritos, we got lots of kind of stoga wagons and things, but I'm pretty sure, you know, some of our curators would cringe. They're not as durable as an aircraft, but this is really, really neat. Okay, now I'm going to embarrass myself by trying to get out of it.
And there's one more you can get to the Huey. There's stairs around back, so you're welcome to get into the back of that one.
Okay, perfect. I will.
There's more room.
Twist my arm. Okay. Ha! That was graceful, right? Thank you so much for holding on to it so that I didn't fly away. But let's head over to this one. But I want to hear a little bit more. So you're from Michigan,
Yep.
and you worked at a naval museum in Chicago.
Yeah.
Did you study military history? Or?
No, so I did anthropology and art history in undergrad, and I wanted to go into the museum field, so
Thank you so much.
I needed some museum experience, so I had an internship there. And so I worked there as an intern one summer, and then I was hired back the next summer
Oh, nice.
to work. And then I went and did my master's in anthropology in Scotland. And then
Sounds horrible.
and then I did a museum certificate in Boston, and then now I'm here in Alaska as a PhD student at the University of Alaska.
Oh, cool.
Fairbanks.
What are you studying for your PhD?
It's in anthropology, but focusing on museum anthropology.
Okay.
So my PhD project is looking at how native basket makers interact with museums.
Oh,
And different
cool.
types of museums. So
Is that something that Fairbanks is really known for, or what? Why the leap? It's kind of far. Well, I guess Scotland's probably further, but
yeah. So I focus on the Kodiak area of Alaska, but UAF is the only one that does a PhD program in
Okay.
anthropology. And so I also came to study with my supervisor.
Oh, nice.
So
So how many years before we get to call you doctor?
4.
Nice. So counting it down.
Yep, hopefully.
Yeah. All right. So what is this helicopter? Is it helicopter? Aircraft?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. I know nothing about aircrafts.
This is the Huey helicopter. I don't know too much about it actually. It's from It was made in 1952, and it was used by the military. That's probably all I know. Aaron, any comments?
Is currently on loan from the Army, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's about all I can add. So
Perfect. You want to come get in? Will we get in this
Yeah.
one? Okay.
We'll get in
Yes, we got her in this one. All right. Come on. We're going around. So if you're in Fairbanks, you have to come here because like where else do you get to crawl inside all this stuff unless you're in the military? Oh, and there's helmets.
Yep.
Am I gonna get lice if I put one on?
nope, not at all. I'm gonna swing around front.
Okay. There's so many seats in here. People like, here, hand me a helmet. I'm putting the helmet on. You got it like safety first when you're in an aircraft. I think this is my opportunity to say that, well, one, this is awesome. So thank you so much for letting me kind of come and get in this. But we have to give a shout out to my assistant curator, Danny, Michael, Back, and Cody, because he should be finishing his military history object list for the new museum. If you watched the video yesterday, you know I was giving him a hard time on that. We're actually renovating our museum.
Oh, nice.
And that's 7,000 objects. And so we're breaking it up into little digestible bits, and his assignment was the military history wing, starting with the crossbow and going all the way up through modern day. So Danny could probably tell us a little bit more about some of the stuff than I could at this point, but it's just such a neat place. And if you want to pan down, they've got text panels for each of the objects here. But since you've only been here for a month, I'm going to ask you if you could show me some of the things that you really like here.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we're going to get out and come back around. I don't want to leave. It's like the best day of my life. All right, we're back. All right, so why don't you show us some of your favorites?
Okay. So let's go this way.
Okay, we're walking.
We're walking.
We're walking, and we're walking.
So we have a hovercraft.
Okay, I like the text panel. Hovercraft courtesy.
Yeah. So Carlos, he made it, and then he would give people rides in it.
What?
Yeah. But Carlos he's passed away, so
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah,
Does it still work?
probably not.
This is not one you're gonna let me
Nope.
take out for a spin.
But it's kind of cool.
It's definitely cool. So he made it.
He made it for his grandkids to
That's
take.
grandpa.
Yeah, so grandkids are
Oh, that's cool. You gotta zoom in on that.
kids he's related to, and he would give them rides, and then he donated it to the museum.
Do you know when he donated it? No.
Nope.
Well, it's certainly really cool, and I also really like the super high-end signage. It kind of gives it almost like a space-agey feel to it. I like it. I should probably go to Roswell next.
Right.
What's another object you like in the museum?
So it's not really an object, but we have plane wreckage. We have wreckage from different
Wow, you
plane
can zoom on
crashes.
that, and you'll have to zoom in on this.
From all over, and it's all over the museum. So you have some here, and you have some in the back corner. So you'll see that all throughout, and that's kind of like one of my favorite things is just to see the wreckage kind of interspersed with the actual objects themselves.
Yeah. That's really interesting. You know, so often, like, when you go to museums, everything is, like, perfect and pristine, and it's kind of nice. I always like to see, like, a gun that's been, like, kicked and put in the dirt for a while. It's really shown, like, its wear and tear over the years, because it's just got a really interesting history
Yeah.
to be told. So that's really neat. How did you get some of this wreckage? Donations or, like...
Yep, pretty much donations, people bringing it. So just dropping it off, yeah.
It can be your next project. And go out and find the wreckage.
No thanks.
Anything else that you really love?
Some of the pictures are cool, but
Is this girl not wearing pants?
no. So this is a dress.
Oh,
It's a stewardess dress
because you know,
from
I like
Lean
short
Airlines.
skirts, but I don't know how,
From-
how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's from Lean Airlines back in the 60s or 70s.
Okay,
I wear this.
that and like tights, pants, anything?
Probably tights at least.
We'd hope so.
Yeah.
It's not- gives a whole new term to the friendly skies theory.
Right. Yeah. So yeah.
That's really, really cool. Well, let's kind of keep walking around because I just
Yeah.
think it's just such an impressive space. You know, it's a
Yeah.
circle, so you don't really have to necessarily tell a linear story, which I'm not
Exactly.
the biggest fan of with museum displays. But
Yeah, and you'll see that it's just jam packed full of stuff.
oh yeah, do you know how many objects you guys have?
So we're in the process of cataloging right now. Going through the whole museum, trying to figure out what's here and documenting everything. So we're at over 1,500
Oh my
objects
gosh.
right now.
How big is this dome?
I don't know the square feet, but itself.
Not that big though.
It's not that big,
Yeah.
but
And you're gonna pan up. There's even stuff hanging from the top of it. I mean, it's kind of like the Smithsonian Air Museum, like all smushed into one. I mean, it really is impressive. And
Yeah.
so you're doing an inventory right now. Is there anything off-site or is everything just right here?
everything's here. So yeah, so everything's here. It's either out for display or kind of tucked behind other cases and stuff that are on the floor.
That's really cool.
So yeah.
So this is pretty much like one of the neatest museums. I came here 3 years ago to visit my friend who was working here, and she's the collections manager here, I think still, in some capacity.
Yeah.
I remember being here, and I was like, I gotta come back to this place because it was just so cool, and I wanted to make sure I could bring it to you guys. So thank you so much for wandering me around, letting me talk to Pete, and getting in some helicopters. You guys, if you have any questions, you know where to find us, and I'm gonna try to bring another museum ambush to you next week at another museum named Pioneer, but that one is in Phoenix, Arizona. So have a wonderful 4th, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.